So with all the new guitar VSTs I got, we got to make an acoustic beat, something real emotional, R&B influence. Cool transition. Didn't work. All right, so to start this one off, I had a guitar playing and it was a picked acoustic inside of Arcade. Like I mentioned, they have the bundle upgrades right now, so I upgraded my Complete 10, I think, to 13 Deluxe or something like that, 13 Ultimate. It came with a bunch of the guitar ones I wanted, Electric Sunburst, picked acoustic, strummed acoustic and stuff, and a bunch of other stuff that I haven't installed yet. So I went ahead and went with the natural picked acoustic on open, and I played out this melody right here. Let me just actually show you the whole melody I have, and then I'll explain it. So that's what we're going to be working with. What I did was just play some basic chords, and I just started in the scale of D minor. And as you could see, it's about 3 different chords, right? So the root notes go from D to C to A sharp. And then these are just inversions that kind of get thrown around. So this gets brought down to here, and then this gets brought down to here. So it's just a basic chord, right? But then with the inversions, it becomes something more advanced. And then the root note is duplicated for each one, as you can see here. So the roots are brought up and then added in. But if we bring these down, simple chord. So you could start off with something simple like this. Let's see. And then when it's moved over and then inverted up, and then you add in the root note a bit higher and a bit off time, you can get something cool. And then these chords right here are doing the same thing as well. So it's a pretty simple chord progression, but it sounds really nice. And I wanted to really get the velocities down so it actually sounds like it was being played. And then I layered a melody over the second part of it, which is right over here. And I'll show you what I did here. So let's go ahead and play it. So the original plan was to try to make this during the video, was literally spending so much time trying to get it to sound like a real acoustic. And then I ended up coming up with this and I really liked it. And I was like, you know what, let me just turn this into a video and finish it and just break it down. So that's what I did for the acoustic guitar. And then you'll hear this little vocal, which I actually sang. So I sang like a little vocal run and then had some auto tune on it, but I feel like it didn't fit too much. So then I just like rendered it with a bunch of reverb and then faded in the vocal. So there's actually a full vocal line being sang here, but I really just ended up taking the words out and catching like the tail ends of the reverb. So we're going to use Arcade to add more, but this is what this sounds like. I'll go ahead and turn it up a little bit. I'm actually going to put some delay on that so you can't really hear what I was saying, because I definitely sang like a whole phrase. Probably since it was my voice, I didn't like it too much. So I went ahead and just like kind of chopped it around, but I definitely want to add some delay on it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add this quarter note delay that I have. So as you can see, it's just a quick preset to get a quarter note, but it's a quarter note delay, a little bit of feedback, a high pass, low pass on it. I turn analog off, and then it's like barely blended in on a ping pong. But I definitely want a lot of reverb on this, or sorry, feedback. I should have played the original. The original wasn't bad, but I'm not doing that. All right, so next, let's go into Arcade. And I want to throw Arcade from the start into a mixer track. And I want to just EQ it up so, you know, it doesn't come out just bland. It'll already fit. So this is what I like to do. I like to take out a lot of low end, pretty much high end, just kind of make it like a telephonic effect. And then I get a reverb. We'll just use Rverb, or not Rverb, Fruity Reverb. Rverb is a waves reverb that I use a lot. So we'll get a pretty big reverb going. Then I'm going to just throw a bunch of stuff on it. Before we even start, I'm going to throw a doubler on it. I'm going to go in here. I'm also going to put, let's see, let's just get H delay as well. And let's go with the 8th note. So I'll bring this to 8th, something like that. and then I'll have Arcade running through that so it can already fit. So I'm going to use something from this bank. I think I've used almost all of these. There's what, 234, and I really feel like I've used a lot of them. Actually, let's get some I haven't downloaded yet. Yeah, kind of like that one. Not a lot, but a little bit. Let's bring in another one. Let's duplicate it. So all I'm doing right here is moving this over because there's like a gap right here. So I definitely want it to start right here, take off loop. That's perfect right there. That sounds good. All right, so now I have this 808 from the new kit. It's more of like a nice sine R&B, like trap soul 808. So I'm gonna take these root notes over there and paste them in here like this. Boom. Let's go up, Shift D, Alt Q, and then Alt L. And I'm probably gonna follow most of these. We'll see. Let's actually make these all the same velocity. So all I did is hold Alt, click. I want this to be pretty low. Let's try out some other ones. I like 18. I don't know if I was using 18 already. I can't remember. I probably was. And we're going to go with the acoustic feel on the drums. So on the rim, I'm going to put the rim on the 2 and the 4. So like this, and then we'll go ahead and loop this. Should already be looping. Maybe I got to set this to bar real quick. Yep. And then we're going to do a 2-step on the hi-hat, but we definitely got to go in here and make these feel more realistic. So let's delete this. Work with like a low 2-bar real quick. And on every other one, I'm going to bring the velocity down, because on drums, like, you know, the first downbeat would probably be a harder hit, and then lighten up on the second to kind of give it a groove. But let's change these randomly even more so they're not exactly the same. Maybe this one like this. So the harder notes like that, and then the softer ones kind of go down. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's just bring the volume overall. And over here, let's change these up too. That's sounding good. And then what we'll do is go into the hi-hat, and we'll go over here and we'll shift it a little bit. Now it has a nice swing to it. Pan it a little bit to the left. And then for the kick, we got a nice kick. I'm gonna go ahead and have it lower down to A, because for this one, C is a little bit too high. It fits the beat better down to A, and let's figure out a pattern we want to do for it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to play it on the MIDI. Oh, I like that pattern. Maybe we'll add more to it. Let's quantize it. Oh, that's fire. The guitar, I want to process it a little bit. Let's go into effects. Not sure what I want to do. Maybe just a little more reverb. Let's bring this up. Or layer it with another guitar. Let's see what a ribbon would sound like instead of a condenser. We could double it like that. That sounds better. Let's go a little bit more reverb. I think what I need to do is make some of these notes a little more realistic. I forgot I didn't really like make them too much on time. Let's bring this one out. And then randomize a little bit more. All right, that sounds better. Now let's bring the drums back in. Vocals fire. Has so much swing to it. Now let's just hear what the hi-hat would have sounded like on like a normal two-step. Watch how much of a difference it is with the velocities and whatnot. And then we'll switch back. Has so much more groove. Velocities definitely play a huge part, especially with like a one-shot hi-hat that doesn't have multiple velocities or like different tones to it. When it's literally just a one-shot wave sample or MP3, whatever, you definitely can utilize like a lot of velocity moves and kind of nudging things off the grid to get it just to sound more real. All right, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You guys can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site, lifestyledidit.com, for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.